Hey everybody, Zach Butler YGO here. It's been a couple weeks. Didn't record since pre-YCS Philly, which was a crazy event. Since then we've had a new Forbidden Unlimited list that actually was shown during the event, which was quite an interesting experience if you were there. And one of the decks that got a huge boost was the Sky Striker deck, which is a fan favorite deck. It's one of my favorite decks. If you've followed me for a number of years, you'll know that in 2019 it's basically all I played for the majority of the year besides the Thunder Dragon deck, and then for a small bit of time Salamangreat. So of course I wanted to try it again, and we got some new cool cards like Sky Striker Mobilized Linkage and stuff, so I decided to take it to locals last night. I went 3-1, ended up losing to Vanquish Souls, the new deck from Wild Survivors. That deck is really powerful. I didn't know necessarily how to approach the matchup, and I also realized very quickly into game one that matchup favors them heavily due to the ability to return the monsters that you're targeting with your Widow Anchors and things like that to hand with the quick effects to special summon. So that's a matchup that you'll need to be very aware of if you're going to play this deck going forward. With that said though, I'll show you guys the deck and I'll go over some of the changes that I would make, some pros and cons of the deck, and I can potentially discuss some tech options, maybe if you don't want to play certain cards or you can't afford them, things like that. Before that though, as always, if you like this sort of content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down below what other decks you want me to cover. I'm planning to do Pearly. I will definitely do Gold Pride Punk. I'm still working on that deck a little bit. I'm not quite sure how I want to approach the format with it. And if you want to pick up any of the cards found in this video, use the TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. A portion of that does go to the channel, so it helps me while helping yourselves out. Without further ado, though, we'll go into the Sky Striker deck for, is it June? It's June 2023. So first we have, of course, 3 Sky Striker Ace Ray. This is your main monster. Then just 1 copy of Rose. So Rose is a card I'm generally a pretty big fan of because it's extra bodies. However, the main reason why you only play 1 Rose now is you also have 3 Sky Striker Mobilized Linkage, which is effectively every single Sky Striker Ace monster. For those that don't know what Linkage does, if you have no monsters in your main monster zone, you can activate this. On resolution, send another card you control to the graveyard and special summon a Sky Striker Ace Link monster from your extra deck. You can only summon the Ace monsters for the rest of the turn. Also, if you have a light and a dark Sky Striker Ace monster on your field or in your graveyard, you have to have both, the monster gains 1,000 attack. So this can help with OTKs with like Kagari and Hayate, cool things like that. This card's very good. Then we have the newly semi-limited Sky Striker Mobilizing Gauge. This card's insane. 3 Widow Anchor, 2 multi-roll. This was just because this is a going second deck, so the odds of drawing it at 2 are actually the same when you're going second, are the same as drawing it at 3 going first. So you can play 2 pretty safely, and you're really only going to need 1 to grind out the game. I think there was one point where I needed a second one last night. Most of the time, though, it was pretty redundant. 2 Area 0, and then that's it for the spell cards that I play multiples of for the Sky Strikers. Then 1 each of Eagle Booster, Shark Cannon, Hornet Drones, and Afterburners. So I'm not playing Jamming Waves, which is a decision I personally don't like. I really enjoy having Jamming Waves in the deck. It's my favorite Sky Striker card, so I might include that again. Hornet Drones was actually the worst Sky Striker spell in the deck. It's the best outside of the deck, but in this deck it's not that good because you already have your 3 Ray, your 1 Rose, and your 3 Linkage. So you already have 7 ways to get to an Ace monster anyway, plus Rhoda, so you have 8. So Hornet Drones was kind of whatever. I'll probably drop it for Jamming Waves. Afterburners was obviously insane. 1 Shark Cannon was really good. I might play that at 2. I sided a second copy, and I found that I really enjoyed having it. And Igloo Booster was very good, just being able to stop, like cards like Imperm and things like that. One of the new additions to the deck is Triple Tactics Thrust. This card is very good. With all the hand traps running around especially, you get a lot of mileage out of this, and this basically means that you have 5 copies of Engage. 2 Talents, 5 with Thrust, 2 Desires. I would play 3 if I could. This card's insane. I had 1 bad banish off of Desires last night where I my first engage was banished because of a Rise Heart. It was in the Vanquish Souls matchup, and then my Desires banished my second engage, and my draws were pretty poor, and I couldn't quite break the field, but live and learn. 2 Lightning Storms and Harpy's Feather Duster. Again, this is a going second deck, so I want to have as many board breakers as I can that are really efficient, and these are spells, which is obviously the best. And then Terraforming, Rhoda, and Upstart Goblin, which is pretty normal in a Sky Striker deck. Then for non-engine, I played 3 Ash Blossom. It's just like the generic good hand trap, 1 Pankratops, and 3 Infinite Impermanence. Pankratops is okay. I don't think it ever really came up, and just the 6 hand traps that I felt like were always kind of the go-to. Like, if you don't know what you're going into a format, you can always play those and get away with it. Extra deck, I played 1 Zeus. This was purely for if I use Widow Anchor on an Xyz monster, or I Shark Cannon their Xyz monster after doing battle over it or whatever, and I can just summon the Zeus just to have a big body. It came up one time against Traptrix where I took one of their rank 4s after attacking into it, and then made Zeus, cleared the field, and then the game was pretty much over from there. This is like literally whatever. It just converts converts hard situations into wins that otherwise might have been losses. And then 3 Kagari, 3 Shizuku, 3 Hayate. I think that's pretty normal. 1 Kaina, and 2 Zeke. All of these came up actually. That's actually one thing too, interestingly enough, with this deck is I could see playing Hercules base, which is another one of the cards that I'm a big fan of that most players aren't. I found that this deck really struggles with the card quality of the more recent cards to keep up, and so you actually do have to burn through these a little bit more aggressively than you otherwise might. So you could consider Hercules base to put them back and get more mileage out of them. And then I played Dark the Dark Charmer and Axis Code Talker, just to have like a random OTK tool. This never came up. But yeah. Then for the side deck, I sided the Bestial, so 2 Magnemite and 1 Druisworm. These were for mirror matches, because you can banish Ray and Rose, which is obviously insane. They're for Vanquish Souls to banish some of the ones in Grave. They're good against pretty much everything right now, actually. Just the Bestials get a lot of value currently in the format. 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Again, for the mirror match, it comes up because you can banish Engage, which does matter a lot because a lot of people don't know what to do if they don't have access to Engage. It's good against Pearly. It's good against Vanquish Souls because you can hit their face downs, and they also do tend to play Chikaboo and things like that. It's good against Traptrix, obviously. Kashtira, kind of just like a catch-all card. And then I sided 1 Call by the Grave, 1 Afterburners, and 1 Shark Cannon. I just wanted to have 2 and 2 of these. I wanted to have access to 2 and 2 of these in my deck. The second, Afterburners, is just a really good card in general, and Shark Cannon is just obviously insane, especially after siding when you think you're going to go first, or you're going to choose to go first. Having access to additional quick play spells is really good. And then I played 3 There Can Be Only One, and 3 Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. This card underperformed. I don't really like it at all. And then There Can Be Only One is obviously really good. So for budget options, the main culprit I think in this deck of cards that are like way too expensive would be Triple Tactics Thrust. You could just simply not play this card and play additional Sky Striker spells. You could play hand traps. This card is not necessary by any means, and most of the time was actually just sent off of my linkage. Other cards to consider would be Pot of Prosperity. You could consider additional Rose. You could consider Bell, which is very good right now. You could even consider, like I said, the Hercules base, the Jamming Waves, and even a third multi-roll. You could go first with cards like Wannabe in the deck. There's a lot of different options. By no means is this card like the reason that you're going to be winning a lot of the games. I just wanted to make that very clear because I know a lot of players necessarily can't afford this card because it's pretty expensive. So that's just like an option, but like a budget right there, or budget option you can have there. Other cards to consider would be cards like Change of Heart and Mind Control. You can play the Foolish Burial Goods package. I've seen players playing Raigeki for going seconds. If you really want to go first and you want to be like kind of extra crazy, you could play like the Runic engine and just get like serious value out of the fact that all of your spells will draw you a bunch of cards, and then Engage will draw you a bunch of cards. I don't know how good that is, but that's an option too. As for the extra deck, there were a couple things I wanted to go over that I was considering. I considered playing like Nightmare Phoenix over Dark, and then cutting Zeus for Unicorn, so you have Phoenix, Unicorn into Access Code Talker, or if you want to play Effect Veiler in the main deck, you can play Selene and do the old Access Code OTK that way. Those are all very good options as well. The format's super open right now. Nothing is really defined other than every deck is pretty evenly matched. That's another card you can play, actually, is evenly matched. And I really like it a lot. Let me know what you guys think down below with this deck. It is not very, like, it's not special at all. I just wanted to show you guys kind of what I've been playing at locals, and yeah, it's super fun. So if you like Sky Strikers and you didn't know where to start, here's a good starting point for you, and I'll catch you in the next video.